Fighting games are what has happened these past 2 weeks? I've heard a little bit a groundswell about Virtua Fighter, but it kind of seems like we're just in that post-Christmas, early New Year's thing of like, yeah, let's not talk about too much, you know?
Yeah, so that's the Virtua Fighter mainly. Yeah, that's what I see. So I guess just to start things off, yeah.
No, go ahead. I'll hit it when it comes up more naturally.
Okay. Animator is an animation. Is getting a fighting game.
Animator's animation?
Animator versus animation. It's an old Flash series.
Oh, right. Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, it's getting or rather they announced a fighting game and a Kickstarter is coming in 2025, which it is 2025. It wasn't when this was posted.
I see.
But yeah, that's gonna be interesting if it actually pans out. Although, like, I'm not sure how many characters they can make, cause like animator versus animation was really fun. It was also a part of the stick fight genre of Flash animation, so I'm not sure how far we can go with that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there'd probably be a lot of potential for those that want to do a lot of that old school Newgrounds type stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, maybe if you get a mass crossover, I don't even know what most of the Newgrounds guys are up to anymore. I assume they don't work on Newgrounds anymore. I assume they actually are paid to animate by someone else.
It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Like some of the guys, like it's genuinely one of three things. 1/3 stuck with Newgrounds. One third actually got jobs in the industry, either in animation or video games, and one third is entirely located on the Only Plays channel. Where like they, just random Newgrounds animators and people like that, people who did stuff for Newgrounds, voice actors and all that, just come in to do guest hosting with Oni, and then.
How did many of them switch to YouTube, I wonder?
Good question. Well, they most of them definitely switched off of YouTube by now, because the animation takes too much time and effort and makes too little money
YouTube
to
doesn't
actually
pay that much.
Yeah.
Used to, but doesn't anymore.
It's not even just the money. YouTube seems to actively discourage animators from making animations for YouTube, both by the algorithm. The algorithm doesn't like animations, and also a lot of any animations, depending on your art style, a lot of any animations immediately get set to made for kids, which also ruins it in the algorithm.
Yeah.
So
it really does kind of seem like YouTube more or less just wants people who are like health YouTubers, and that's about it.
Yeah. Like, what YouTube wants is rich people talking about how they're rich. It doesn't matter what else they do, they just need to talk about how they're rich and show off their product.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess to circle back around to fighting games, like even so the announcer for Schoolgirls is in fact one of those Newgrounds guys.
That makes sense.
But yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite got a resurgence of players after Max's mod released.
Yes. MVCI Beyond, and seeing that made me think for a second. Did Max partly make that mod? I mean, he'd be paying a lot out of his own pocket for it, so probably not. It was probably more than anything else, just passionate and a feeling that Infinite doesn't get as much respect as it deserves because it looks like ass. But nonetheless, the thought crossed my mind. Was one of Max's big motivations was for MVCI Beyond just simply to cause a huge player count on Steam and what have you to try and prove to Capcom that MVC is worth bringing back?
Good question.
Because, like, on one hand, that would be a lot of money to spend on, like, an assumption like that. On the other hand, Max knows the business better than most YouTubers.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Harada's idea, and Max is a A puppet.
Yes.
A proxy.
Harada is pulling the strings. All of them, except the ones that high up at Bandai Namco.
I thought you were just gonna make a joke about Harada's height, except for the ones that are tall because he's short. He has to ask Max to reach for those.
That's why he has whatever his name is, Michael something or other. Then the Nintendo Switch version of Guilty Gear Strive will have Dizzy as a free character.
Cool.
He's gonna be 3 polygons.
Probably. And 2 of them are tits.
Apparently, SNK has announced a separate King of Fighters studio.
Really?
Yes. And their announcements, so they just posted an image of, this exists, and I guess the logo is KOF Studio. It is it is certainly a KOF logo, I suppose. It's kind of weird. It kind of looks like their name is KFO. What? But
King Fighters of.
Yeah. King Fighters, comma of.
Their government name.
Yeah. And the background or the background, there's also a background, whatchamacallit, background images of cover art, and it's KOF 14, I wanna say. Garo 2, Shunai from some other game, Samsho, the 7th one, and some game that I don't recognize. I think that's Nakoruru, but I don't know what, because she looks very anime.
It could be the old waifu fighter they did for like.
Oh yeah, SNK Heroines Frenzy.
Yeah. Was that for the Vita?
No, maybe.
Okay, what? I remember it being for the Vita, but I think I'm probably just going crazy.
But yeah, they also have a tagline: "Revolutionize the legacy."
Yeah, fight the row, fight the power.
Yeah. My favorite part of that song is it's for one, it's a like rap song that's also a an opera at the same time, but
yeah,
but also the lyrics in the rap part are like think the unthinkable.
I believe the technical term is a hip opera, like R. Kelly's "Trapped in the Closet."
R. Kelly wishes
your
he was
response
trapped
to that
in the closet.
was, "Oh no!"
Yeah, it was more or less.
And that's appropriate.
Nvidia showed off new Virtua Fighter footage.
They did. It was pre-rendered though, because there is no way a fighting game will ever look like that. Because like it was like just actual, honest to God, fluid Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, pre-scripted, pre-planned martial arts.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it and I'm going, no one here is pressing crouching jab. This is not actual gameplay.
That's the only way to tell. That is the only way you know.
It's the best way to know.
They should have done a pre-rendered cutscene, but the pre-rendered cutscene is just a few people pressing crouching jab.
Yeah.
And then the characters stand up and it says round 1.
Nice.
Like that's the round start intro.
That's your fucking Soul and Kyo busting out all their supers on each other before the round even starts.
Yeah.
Or Ki. God. Ki, Kyo. It was a little bit explicit there, ain't it?
He's supposed to be Kai, but no.
Fuck
he ain't.
it. Kentucky.
Yeah. Kentucky Kiske. Kentucky Fried Kiske. Whatever that is.
Oh boy, all right.
And then finally.
Notably, I want to mention this because it's a thing I saw that cracked me up. Was so currently there's also the boot camp thing for Street Fighter 6, which we'll get to in a little bit.
Yeah.
But someone pointing out that the marketing they have shown between the dev footage and what they've already shown of the gameplay and all that, they have already shown that Akira has 4 costumes in the game that they are showing off as we speak. And people were just looking at it and going, "So, Street Fighter 6, huh?"
People are looking at the thing going, "So, you've seen the Untouchables?"
Yeah.
Everyone, it's a nationwide epidemic. People are all rapping World Life.
Why would they rap a word life?
Because people try to talk about Street Fighter 6, but everyone started with "So, you've seen the Untouchables," and it just comes naturally after that.
I mean, granted, in the reveal trailer, Akira did kind of look like he was wearing a mobster outfit.
Yeah. We cannot confirm nor deny that Akira Yuki. We cannot confirm nor deny whether Akira Yuki possesses doctorate in tokenomics.
I think we can pretty well confirm he doesn't. Ryu might, but
Akira is doing his bachelor's right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, then
I am very curious to see the genuine gameplay of Virtua Fighter 6, right? We saw a little bit of it during the trailer. But I'm curious to see, like, on more stages than just, blowing each other through the walls of that, like, little desert village, right?
Yeah.
Also, shut up. It's Sarah. It's fucking Sarah Bryant.
I thought you were
Stop lying to us.
I thought you were gonna say it's Tatooine. They're in Star Wars now.
We had to sacrifice Star Gladiator to get this.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
No.
No.
We'll never get better Blanca.
No.
He was in Plasma Sword and nothing else.
That's true. You'll take your Jin Saotome and you'll like it, Buster, when we remember to even put him in anything.
Yeah. Jin Saotome? You mean Morrigan?
I love Morrigan. I'm not going to say, fuck Morrigan. Well, I might say fuck Morrigan in a different context. But nonetheless, I ain't going to say, get Morrigan out of here. But, yeah, comparatively, I think that, it's easy for... No Marvel vs. Capcom roster is going to be, please anyone from top to bottom. But I think really any of us can look at Marvel 3 and Marvel Infinite and go, Spencer... Again?
Yeah. Spencer, Firebrand, Arthur. Fucking
yeah.
Arthur
I like because at least he's got a unique gameplay gimmick,
I guess. I just don't like ghosts and goblins. So to me it's just like, all right, I get Firebrand and also the fucking loser who stars in his game.
Yeah, that's I think one of the many problems with Firebrand is like we've already got Arthur as our Ghosts and Goblins representative.
That's the thing, we got Firebrand before Arthur.
Oh god, you're right. That's so bad. But like, oh Jesus Christ, you have to remind me. Anyways, that's the thing that really sucks about any of the games that Firebrand is in that Arthur's also in is like. Is Arthur not enough, y'all?
See, Firebrand is not actually representing Ghosts and Goblins. Firebrand is representing Devil's Aura or whatever it was, the SNES platformer that Firebrand is in as Red Hammer.
Yes, that is true, which Capcom seems pretty solidly convinced that whatever that movie is, that it's a fucking classic. Or the game, whatever. Yeah. Fuck it!
I mean, I've played that game. It was alright. I mean, I did like it.
I have to. It's just all right. Like it's nothing orgasmic where it's like this character needs to be in Marvel every crossover ever from now on. No.
Yeah, Like it's one of those things where like I like Red Dead Redemption's game better than I did Ghosts and Goblins, but that like I like most games better than Ghosts and Goblins. So
The original Ghosts and Goblins, I bounced off of hard, but Super Ghosts and Goblins is pretty cool.
I didn't like either.
Well, I mean, I suck at Super Ghosts and Goblins. I can't get past the first level or two, but it looks cool. It's very pretty.
I guess. See, like this is the thing where like I genuinely am like, all right, graphics they're there. Do they function? Yes.
Yeah.
Like a game needs to look really fucking shit for me to complain about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So in the last bit of news that we have, Evo 2025, the announcement show, which I guess is it's a separate show. Thank God I don't have to watch Evo. I don't have to watch people fight as fucking Leroy Jenkins or whatever his name is. Leroy Smith. I don't have to see. I don't have to watch Leroy Jenkins mirrors in WoW.
Yeah.
Evo.
I think he is legitimately a card in their card game.
Oh, if memory serves, he's a character that you can play as in Hearthstone.
Oh god, I think they did eventually end up adding him to WoW itself as an NPC, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which I mean makes sense, but nonetheless.
But yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah. There's a separate Evo announcement show. They have announced when the announcement show will take place. It is on the 14th at 5 p.m. Pacific time? Question mark? It's hard to tell because there's also the because it's PT, so it's 5 p.m. in the Silent Hill
Kojima.
private public testing or whatever. Yeah,
get down, Mr. Kojima.
Kojima is coming to the Evo announcement show to announce Solid Snake for real this time. He doesn't even own the character anymore. He just does it, and it's true. He pulls some strings.
Oh shit.
What was I gonna say? Shit. Oh yeah. It says PT, but like PT could be Pacific time. PT, I've also seen used PT because like there's also a publicly like or whatever like worldwide agreed to time zone that nobody uses. It's just the time that we refer to so that everyone knows what time we're talking about, which actually muddies waters. And that's all. That's also.
We've made a new. There are too many standards. There are 34 standards. That's too much. We need to make a new standard that'll just be the standard to go for. There are now 35 standards.
Yeah. And so yeah, like I've also seen that written as BCT or something like that.
But as long as you don't see a CBT.
Yeah. No. That's gonna be that we're gonna have to wait for Tekken 9 so that they can give us the CBT and the CNT.
Yeah, I've said it before. The end thing for Tekken is that like they'll have to put out a beta test that somehow types out cock, right?
Yeah, CCK.
No, they throw in an O, and they like are honestly just so innocently confused they don't get it.
They write out an acronym. They're like, all right, guys, we figured out a way to word this so that it's it can be misunderstood. It's an acronym that is a mouthful, but we will make sure it's clear. And the acronym is penis.
Yeah. Player enjoyment
Network
necessity insurance
system.
There you go. Oh boy.
Player enjoyment network insurance system.
Oh yeah, that's good. I like that.
Because we have to tie it to the net. Because it's all they always name the internet testing things like that. So there you go, Harada. That one's free.
And like Harada knows enough English to know that it doesn't work, and he's trying to warn the other devs, and they're just shrugging him off like, yeah, whatever, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So yeah.
Boy, all right.
On to topics, I guess. If you have any.
Well, there is the boot camp thing.
Yeah. All right. Talk about the boot camp thing.
So, Street Fighter 6 very proudly announced, hey, it's a new round of content. It's boot camp bracer, whatever. What was the
Buckler.
Not bracer? What's the name of
Buckler.
Luke's stupid mercenary brigade?
Buckler.
Okay, that's pretty similar. Buckler, it's the Buckler boot camp event. Everybody can get Buckler outfits for their avatar. That's right. It's time for another avatar outfit event. And it's leading to, people are always ready to discuss where the fuck are the more costumes. But this one in particular, it's just so lame that people are very much happy to discuss what the actual fuck, right?
Yeah.
And I think this is weird to think about because people are just taking the stance of, I want to be sold DLC, give me.
Yeah. The thing that I've seen is that people are going, all right, I get it if it makes money. Also, none of the ways that we can check shows that it's making money. In fact, it's showing the opposite.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on there with that.
Like people,
yeah. No, go ahead.
Like I've seen people. I watched Brian F. I think he talked about this issue. I watched that video earlier, and in the comments, people were like, I looked into, and even Brian F. He also looked into it, but yeah, like people are looking into like the Steam charts and like Steam sale or whatchamacallit. It's like they're looking into the receipts basically. They're trying to see if there's an actual money movement. As far as we can tell, and like Steam is the only platform that we can tell on, so we have to just assume that Steam reflects reality.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, they're looking into it, and what Steam shows is that when they released the additional costumes, the Street Fighter 6 DLC got a big spike. It was in like the top 100 sellers during that time. And then before and after, nothing. Well, not nothing, but comparatively nothing. And it's just a thing of like, if people were buying the premium currency for the avatar stuff, then you would assume a higher low than it is.
Yeah. Like I think to a certain degree, I would not be super shocked by like crazy sales for the avatar stuff earlier on in the game's lifespan. The game's coming up on 2 years now, though, and I would think that people would be less amused by the avatar hijinks,
Yeah, not only that, but also like as someone who has, as someone who might spend money on the avatar stuff if I had currency and also just for whatever reason decided that I don't need money, but
yeah.
Like the thing that I wanted most wasn't even a thing that it wasn't even a premium thing that they put out. It was just the Ganon outfit, and like the reason I don't have the Ganon outfit is because I didn't play the game because I had no time to play the game during that moment that it was available. But like otherwise, the avatar stuff that they put out is just like, here's a shoe. It looks like 90% of the other shoes that are in the game.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't get is like a lot of the stuff I would assume people would just make out of the gear that comes with the game by default in fucking World Tour.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's just me that when I play Street Fighter 6, I tend to pop into ranked. And maybe there's a lot of people that are going into Battle Lounge or whatever, right? And there, it's like, well, look how pimping my avatar is. Doesn't that make me cool? Well, otherwise I think of avatars as either being for World Tour, which is single player, and for avatar battles, which like are goofy and funny and gimmicky, but I'm not sure like it's really demands the spending of currency.
I mean, yeah, I've seen people say that like it is the people trying to use the battle hub as a social lobby, you know, like it's supposed to be. And while
Yeah.
on one hand I get that, on the other hand, I would need a source, because every time whenever I go into Street Fighter 6, I'm usually in the battle hub just trying to get battle hub orders done basically. and
Eh.
and you know, every time I'm in the battle hub, I mean, this might also be a regional thing. Then I'll go into that in a sec. But yeah, so whenever I go into battle hub, there's like maybe two people talking, let alone like talking together. There's two people talking. It's usually just the chat is usually just filled with GGs and like the art sticker, and otherwise it's just otherwise, like if people are talking, it's just two people having an argument over one of them being salty, or no talking really. Otherwise, yeah, like there is a definitely a regional difference here, because like, you know, Europe, there's a lot of languages, not everyone speaks English, and the predominant language is English even on the European servers, because yeah, go figure, world language and all that.
Yeah.
But
Eh.
but I have been sent to America multiple times, because time and time again, sometimes I just have stronger connection with America than I do Europe. I don't know why. It just happens. So yeah, I have been sent to America. People in America are a lot more vocal, but every time I've been to the American lounges, they've just been more of the same. It's just more like, you know, people are more likely to talk shit at each other in the American lounges, but otherwise they're not really like hanging out and going like, "Hey, look at my avatar, isn't it cool?" And then I've also been to a Japanese lounge once. I saw people talking in there, but as you can imagine, I can't read Japanese, so I don't know what they were talking about. Like all I can tell you about my excursion to a Japanese lounge in Street Fighter 6 is I went to a Japanese lounge, I got my fucking ass handed to me by 3 people, and then I left. So I got the true Japanese arcade experience, really, when you think about it.
Oh. Oh man.
But yeah, as for the costumes, I mean, yeah, it is a variety. Like it's a variety of problems that are going on with Street Fighter 6. Because, you know, there's the lack of costumes, which the lack of costumes, the lack of characters, and just overall the timing of them all. Because, you know, the lack of characters, the characters are very involved. So
They are.
you know, it takes a while to develop them. Fine, fair enough. It sucks. It would be nice if we could have more characters, but it's understandable if it literally is physically impossible.
Yeah, I appreciate that the Street Fighter 6 roster goes for more quality over quantity.
Yeah, but then I guess we'll get to the timing. Because I think the timing is really the issue. Well, it is part of the issue. The outfits, I mean, it's just the thing of like the avatar stuff requires less effort, so of course we get more of that. But at the same time, like we got one, we got an announcement of season 1 of outfits, around the same time if memory serves, or something like that. I don't remember when it was, but like we got that, and like it was like half a year or so before they actually sent out the season 1 of outfits, and like, you know, not not to be ungrateful, but I don't like any of them, so like I'm fine with not buying them, but
Yeah.
but you know, a lot of those outfits were just like, you know, what you'd expect. Like those outfits felt like they should have come, I don't know, 4 months after release, not, I don't know, 9.
Yeah.
And then the timing of it all is really the crux of the issue, in my opinion, because, you know, they released Akuma. He was the last season 1 character, and then a month later we got Bison, and then 3 months and we got Terry, and now like 4 months and we're getting May.
I think there is something. I think you're probably right there. They probably could have, on some level, stood to delay Bison, even though he was ready to go. That character was not. Well, he was very strong, but the character did not like have any real issues where it's like he felt undercooked at all. But they probably could have stood to delay him just so they didn't set up false ideas about how soon the rest of the characters in season 2 would be coming.
I mean, not only that, but it's a problem with both seasons, in my opinion. Of like, because like, remember how big the gap between Ed and whoever came before him, Aki, I think, was.
Yeah,
and that's a problem. Like, I can't care if it's a development issue because it's consistent. So, like,
yeah, the holiday gap is pretty strong for Street Fighter 6 with the DLCs.
like it really should be,
And
yeah.
it just feels weird that there's less of a gap between seasons than there is in the seasons.
Yeah. Like, really,
Yeah. I was just gonna say, if we're going by patterns, then we're probably going to get Elena, and then a month later, hey, here's fucking, I don't know, Urian or somebody. It's gonna be like, what?
Yeah. Here's Yang and Yun. They play like the ice climbers. Fuck you.
We made sure to include their awful chain grab from Melee
Yeah.
just to ruin the game. We thought it'd be funny. And it is.
Yeah. Instead of an accolades trailer, they just upload a compilation of the two main dev guys watching people get angry at the Infinite and laughing.
They're laughing. They're eating popcorn.
Yeah.
You can see them like pointing like their soda cup at the screen to point out something and saying something in Japanese. You can tell boils down to, look at that asshole.
Yeah.
What a silly bitch.
But yeah, like I think one of the major problems with Street Fighter 6's DLC pattern is the fact that it's not paced well. Because, you know, if it was like, alright, every 2 months you get a new character, every 3 months you get a new character, fine. Like, it's not ideal, but at least you go, hey, you'll get a character in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
But instead what we have is, alright, I'm gonna get a character in the next month, then I will get a character in 4 months, then I will get another character in 8. And
Nah. On one hand, Street Fighter 6 will be updated infinitely. On the other hand, the length increases between every update. After the heat death of the universe, they'll be announcing to fucking nobody, to nothing, hey, guess what? We're adding Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
See, I was gonna say the ninja from Street Fighter 1.
We've literally added every other fighting game character. We have run out of options.
We've added literally every fighting game character, including actual Katsuhiro Harada. He's playable. Like, he's just an echo fighter of Heihachi.
Oh, God.
There's still only one set of outfits for all of the characters, by the way. like only the season 1 characters have outfit 3 still. Just Street Fighter 6 features 5 Leon Kennedys.
Oh.
So anyway, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Is there anything else in particular to hit for news topics?
I don't know. Most of the news that I'm seeing otherwise are tournament announcements and like, yeah, tournaments happen. You know?
Yeah. It's fits and lulls because I know that like there's going to be something like It's always the thing when there's no news is that you know that in like a month there's going to be all the news, and you're going to be like, why couldn't we have spread this out? Why can the fighting game industry not exist solely to make our podcast more convenient?
Yeah. They just. Oh, fuck. I mean, it's obvious not happening, but humor me for a second. Imagine if we get to the 14th, and then it's just a fucking a chain of like every in development fighting game dev just comes out and announces Akuma. Like here's a new trailer, and by like the 5th one you go, it's Akuma, isn't it? And it is.
Yeah. We realize this is the only real way to do things, honestly.
But like also the idea of like, I don't know, they announced a new Arcana Heart, which is an all female cast, and there's also Akuma. He's there too.
Not just all female roster, but all little tiny anime waifus, right?
Yeah.
I think he's a fair. I think he's an accurate waifu choice for somebody.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's either him or Yagami. Oh wait, never mind. It's not actually Iori, Madam X.
Yeah. Hold on. Don't you insult him. That's not Iori Yagami. Or excuse me, don't insult her. That's not Iori Yagami. That's the motherfucking Mrs. X or Miss X. She's not married.
Yeah. Yet. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know of any news topics. If you have any other topics, I guess.
Let's see. Well, I was just watching before. So I was watching a couple of fighting game based YouTube videos that were recommended to me, and seeing those reminded me, oh shit, we didn't do FGA this week, right?
Yeah.
So I did what they was one video was it was a Sajam video discussing the concept of downplaying, right? And how many people.
I thought you were gonna say it was a Sage video discussing the concept of death. Like he just got real for a second. Anyway, yeah.
If there's any YouTubers that should be discussing the fear of death and the concept that you will die someday, it's Sajam. But nonetheless, he was concepting the discussion of game downplay. Oh, fuck it. All right. Discussing how, like, you know, of course, it's always Ken downplay. It's always Ken downplay is the big one. And I thought it was interesting. On one hand, you know, he was basically, you know, talking about, well, of course, there's the aspect of balance of I want Capcom to think Ken sucks so that they won't nerf him or they'll even buff him when I'm a Ken guy. But there's also like the aspect I thought was interesting of I have to downplay Ken so that it feels like my wins are real wins and that the character didn't win the match, I did, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting aspect, right? Because
I mean, there's an issue.
Conversely, like,
yeah.
Because conversely, like Sajam compares to the fact that he was a Nightwing main in Injustice, and like a lot of like people that play bad characters in fighting games will say like, oh well, you know, the upside of playing a bad character is that you know that your win is yours. You know it ain't anyone else's. But Sajam was saying with Nightwing, like, no. Because then you just feel worse on the losses, and even when you do win, it's like it's not really that impactful.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that there is that psychological element to it, right?
Yeah, there's also a thing here. I watched a video by a small YouTuber. I'm forgetting their name, so I'm doing a good job shouting them out.
Eh,
But it was a small YouTuber talking about uh Mizumi Wiki. Actually, they took Mizumi as a basis, but it was really just like downplaying in the whatchamacallit, the wikis, the pros and cons, how character guides are written and all that. And
yeah.
since they were a uni player, or not a uni, or they were a multi-blood player, they took Melty as a basis of like, I know how these characters work, I can talk about them, here's their descriptions on the wiki, I will fact check these.
Yeah.
And they pointed out actually about this is that one of the things of downplaying, one of the reasons that they think that downplaying is a major aspect, at least in the wikis, is that who uses these character guides, who looks at the wikis to figure out the characters, new players. And if a new player sees, oh well, yeah, here's this character and they have these pros and then these cons, well, they then the character feels more balanced, even when the negatives that they write for the cons are just universal mechanics that are only as bad as it is for everyone else.
Yeah.
And so I think that's also an interesting aspect of like trying to not only internalize the thing of I got the win, not my character, but also trying to pass it on to others.
Yeah.
Uh,
The fighting games are weird.
yeah. I mean, like it's one of those things where like I choose characters just off of looks usually, or like if I have another connection to a character, and so Akuma is always strong. I will never deny that Akuma is always strong. I think it's funny, if anything. But it's like Akuma is always strong because he's a Swiss Army knife. He doesn't do anything particularly great unless they made him wrong. He's not supposed to do anything particularly great, but he's supposed to have a lot of tools to deal with things. Like that's my ideal way to balance Akuma. Like Akuma shouldn't have the strongest
Yeah.
fireball game, but Akuma should be able to uh do fireball wars and also just be able to uh zone people out and shit with the Zanku Hadokens and stuff. That's also partially why I don't like how neutral Zanku Hadoken and back Zanku Hadoken are gone. Because it really feels like it feels like Street Fighter 4 got the balance of the Zanku Hadokens right, and then they decided that was actually broken, and I have yet to see any proof of that.
Eh.
Because the Zanku Hadokens were broken in two, the game where Akuma wasn't supposed to be playable, and then
Yeah.
they overcorrected and made the Zanku Hadokens like very situational in Alpha and 3, and then 4
Yeah.
got it to a point where it was fun to use but not overly strong as far as I can tell. And yeah,
Yeah.
and then 5 happened.
Eh. 5 happened to a lot of people.
Yeah. But comparatively, I played that Masamune Basara Cross. And if you recall the image I sent you, that Masamune Basara Cross is literally the worst character. Bar none. And I wouldn't have been able to tell you that without the wiki telling me that. It's not even a case of like, oh, Masamune doesn't interact with the universal mechanics. No, literally everything Masamune does, someone does better. Allegedly.
Oh yeah. There are characters like that in fighting games.
And like, for on one hand, whatever, like, I'm not gonna drop Masamune because he has to work harder. He doesn't feel worse. Like that's my major thing. There are characters where you can feel that they are low tier, and there are characters who happen to be low tier, but they are just characters otherwise.
Yeah.
And Masamune, thankfully, is one of those characters where they feel like a regular. Like Masamune feels like Terry. Weirdly enough,
Oh.
he kind of feels like anime Terry. So he's fun to play, and the fact that everyone else can outplay him just by virtue of existing. I mean, whatever. I'll just figure it out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm. Now you've got me thinking, like, well, who's the worst character that I've mained?
Potemkin Exert.
He's not too bad in Exard. In terms of who I've had a bad time playing and felt like he couldn't do much was. Oh no, you said Exard. Okay, my brain short-wired, and I thought you said X2. Because X2 Potemkin is quite fun. Exard Potemkin, yeah, he suffered. I really was just playing him because, like, well, I'm the grappler guy. I gotta play the grappler, right? But no, Exard Potemkin was rough.
I don't think enough. I think I had more fun with Exert Potemkin than you did.
Yeah.
Because I just abused the ICBM.
Yeah, in hindsight, I probably would have had a better time in Exard if I just abused Slidehead a lot.
Yeah, Slidehead, whatchamacallit, the move where he gets an armor, that's also really good with him. And like ICPM, you'd be surprised by how uncounterable ICPM is at our level.
Yeah, at our level.
I mean,
I think. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I think that's another thing of, like, you know, we don't really speak about, like, fighting game balance on the pro level because neither of us are pros.
No. Allegedly, ICPM is supposed to be a garbage move at the pro level. We never mess around with it.
I did. It was fine for us. But, like, you know, and that's...
No, excuse me, that we do mess around with it. We mess around with it anyways. It allegedly ICPM is garbage at the pro level, but we're not pros, and so we use what we want.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing with fighting games, is you use whatever works, and then when it stops working, you go, why? And you figure it out.
Yeah. There have definitely been some instances in fighting games, though, of, like, moves where we weren't even at the pro level, and we were going like, oh, this move sucks ass.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of one, but there are definitely those where it's like, all right, here's, I don't know, 20 frames of startup, and it's like a single jab that deals 5 damage.
Yeah, which if Dan is doing that, then fair enough. But when it's someone other than Dan doing that, there are definitely, like, normals I can recall in Injustice that were like, why is this so bad?
Yeah.
Right? Ugh.
But back to the topic of downplaying, I guess. Yeah? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is important. Now I've got something I'm thinking of. Like, is there a character that you can kind of feel in your heart that you're downplaying?
I don't know, because the easiest one for me to say would be Johnny, but I don't really downplay Johnny. I just say I don't have, like, I can't do that with Johnny, so it's not a problem for me. You know? Like, sure, Johnny might be a fucking motherfucker at high level. I ain't at high level.
Yeah.
Which really fixes the Johnny problem, doesn't it?
It's a weird thing. I guess you can't really know unless you're like an outside observer of yourself, you know?
Yeah. I'm trying to think, but like, I don't know, because the characters that I think of is, like, you know, being... I guess we could talk about, like, each other's picks. That might be a bit easier, but, like, I'm thinking of, like, you know, well, Akuma, I just said, like, I think he's strong, but he has his weaknesses, which I don't know if it's downplaying, because I think he should have those weaknesses.
Yeah.
And then, like, Enkidu in Under Night, we don't really talk about Under Night, so I don't have time to downplay him. And even then, he's just like, all right, big rush down, with the benefits and the weaknesses of big rush down, really.
We don't talk about Under Night a lot because I honestly can't remember the names of most of the characters.
Fair enough. I only remember my mains for the most part.
Like I can recall characters' appearances certainly and play styles, but names I don't get it, right?
Yeah. And then let's see. Who else can I think of that I like? I'm really have a problem with. Jackie Bryant. I mean, he's a meme.
Eh.
Like the best part of me being a Jackie Bryant is that I don't even like Jackie Bryant. So like,
Yeah.
it just works out.
Yeah, like well, I don't think. Do you really care for any character? No, well, I was about to say, do you care for any character in Virtua Fighter? I already know the answer to that is no.
Yeah, exactly.
Virtua Fighter has no story, and you play fighting games for the story.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, oh god, who's probably the highest tier character I play, other than like Geef and Six?
Wagner. That's
Wagner.
how the unique
Who's
character.
Wagner?
Shield Girl, Shield and Soul Girl from Uni.
Oh, I played her like twice. I have no idea how to play that fucking character.
Kanji. You don't downplay him, but Kanji.
Oh, Kanji. No, I don't downplay him. I absolutely consider Kanji a stupidly strong grappler. Like he is in the hall, like next to fucking Tager for me. Of like, holy Jesus God, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and Tager, like I've said before, Tager sometimes like I just don't feel right playing Tager because he feels a little too brutal.
Yeah.
Kanji, I know Kanji is brutal. I don't play him because I don't want you guys to suffer. But like, I love Kanji. He's my boy.
I looked up. I tried to look up ways to counteract his jumping grab, and then the thing was like the guy just said, "I don't know, but he has 3 versions of it."
Yes, he does. You can control the arc in different directions. The thing is, you can also, as for an additional mix-up, you can do a diving chair slam instead, so that you get you kind of get the strike throw mix-up off your dives.
Yeah, but
which
like,
I know you felt he needed.
Yeah, he needs it to be viable. Like
he just wasn't strong enough without it.
Like, he needs it to be viable the same way Elizabeth really needed the whatchamacallit. Well, for one, Elizabeth really needed healing as a super. She just has it. But also she has a grab that deals like 70% damage if you have curse applied to the enemy.
Very good. That's the thing about Persona Ultimax is like really most of that cast is actually really strong. It's just that you guys don't have as much practice in that game as I do.
But then also, like last time we played, you were the only one who didn't have input lag, so.
Yep, that's also true. That was definitely a problem. Ultimax was on the one hand a game that I did want to get for people, but it was like my memory is that it's not very cheap, which is classic Atlas, granted.
Yeah.
A little bit of that Nintendo mentality of, God damn it, we make quality games and we expect you to pay quality prices.
We need all of your $60 so that we can fund Smell-O-Vision for the Switch 2. Did you not see the fake leak?
I did not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the leak was unbelievable from the start, apparently, for Nintendo fans. But that giveaway, because it was meant to be a joke. Like, it wasn't meant to be a fake, it was supposed to be an in-joke that someone animated. But the real giveaway that it was a joke was that Princess Peach talks about having smelly armpits, and then they show that you can have smell-o-vision, and the smell goes into like the Chad's face, and it's the Chad drawing face, or whatever the image.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, and that's how you knew that it's not real. Even if you're not a big fan of Nintendo. But yeah, that's it. Nintendo needs all of your $60 so they can fund Smell-O-Vision so you can smell Princess Peach's armpits.
Well, it's also worth noting that it's also worth noting here. Smell-o-vision would presumably require, you know, uh, chemicals inside the Switch, which would need to be replaced.
Yeah, which by the way, I heard in regards to this, I heard that some people are actually like unironically developing smell-o-vision for VR, and that sounds horrible.
Yep, for several reasons. I've you need to have chemicals that smell.
Yeah,
It just seems like it has too many problems.
yeah. I can't argue. Like I'm not trying to take the position of smell-o-vision is good. I'm just saying it exists, or people are trying to make it exist.
Yeah. Oh god.
Anyway, yeah. Otherwise, like aside from kanji, I don't know what other high tiers you play. Hmm. Klaus Garcia.
Big fan, famously love him.
Right? I knew it.
Oh shit.
I think that the other thing is that like for one, it's hard to say for us because we don't really follow the tier list, but also like the high tier characters that we know. Like, do we even play them? Because like, you know, Martian Manhunter. I don't really play Martian Manhunter in Injustice. I want to because I like Martian Manhunter, but I actually play Zatanna.
Yeah, Martian Manhunter. That's another thing. Is there are so many games that we've dipped our feet into but never really played, right?
Yeah.
Like it's so there are a lot of games where it's like, oh man, there was this game that we tried for a bit, and I did really like this character that I have heard is crazy high tier. But we played it like twice, and I was, we were playing it for YouTube, so I was trying out the whole roster.
Yeah.
So can we really say like, yeah, I'm totally a main of this character, you know?
Yeah. See, like I was gonna say, like my Marvel characters. Because in Marvel, when I play Venom and Strider, and in Children of the Atom. Well, in any game that he's in, really, but in Children of the Atom, when I played it with Pink, I played Omega Red. But like in both of those cases, I was like, this character is fucking busted. Well, in Omega Red's case, I was this character is fucking busted. In Marvel, I figured I would be rusty enough for the characters being high tier to not matter. It did. Or at least, Strider. Venom, I don't know where Venom is on the tier list, but Strider I know is strong, which is very ironic considering that I barely used Strider because my Venom was too strong.
I mean, in Marvel, like, I play a bit of Magneto, but I'm not really a very good Magneto at all. I've never sat down and learned any of the crazy Magneto loops, which are, presumably the thing that you would think of for Magneto,
Yeah.
Like, other than that,
okay, I just looked.
No one really plays any of the other four gods, though, do we?
Pink plays Storm.
That's true. Yeah. No one's lame enough to play Sentinel or Cable, though.
Yeah. All right, so apparently in Marvel 1, Strider is S tier and Venom is A tier. So that would explain things. Yes.
Ugh. Hmm. Okay, I did not downplay him. I don't know if he was necessarily really high tier, like legit competitive. But in terms of people cannot stand to play against this oppressive motherfucker, I did put in my share of time with Abigail in 5.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it might be harder for us to find characters that we do downplay.
Yeah. I think the thing is, in order to downplay, you have to pretend some degree of highfalutin knowledge of how things are at the competitive level. And I don't think either of us, there's very few games that either of us have really dug into. And generally, even then, neither of us tend to be the guys to make big statements about either this character is stupid strong or this character is stupid bad, right?
Yeah, the only time...
Unless it's a character that really is just that obviously stupid good or stupid bad.
Yeah, like the only time that I can remember us making those statements and then being proven wrong, maybe, is Whole Horse in Heritage for the Future. But I'm just gonna look up a Heritage for the Future tier list and see, because I'm pretty sure that Whole Horse is low tier in Heritage for the Future.
Yes, he is.
He's just also very flexible, which is why I'm good with him.
Yes, my memory is, I believe you said during the Heritage for the Future video, actually, that you love him, that he's great, but that he's like one of the worst characters in the game. And my memory is, yes, like the bottomest of bottom tiers for Heritage for the Future is Young Joseph, but then one of the Whole Horses is right there.
Both of them, if memory serves. I think Oingo Boingo, or whatever, Oingo Whole Horse is worse, because it doesn't have the same, whatchamacallit,
Hoingo.
yeah. Yes, Hoingo.
Hoingo's.
Yeah.
I do remember Hoingo being worse because, like, there just wasn't that insanity of like the man coming out of the glass bullshit.
Yeah. So Hoingo and Maria, I think, are the worst. They are D tier. C tier is Black Portalef, the other guy with the with Anubis sword, and Young Joseph. Then B tier is Iggy, the pedo guy, regular Horse, and Joseph, which are both, the other two are both of my mains.
Okay,
how the fuck is all two? Yeah, go ahead.
There is a big difference then in between the horses then.
Yes. But how the fuck is old Joseph only B tier?
I don't know.
Then, in A tier, you have both of the Dios. Two characters who I don't recognize off the top of my head. Like, I know who they are, but I don't know their names. Clem Woman and Rubber Soul, I think. Then, Avdol, Vanilla Ice, Jotaro, and regular Pornograph, and Cool Kakyoin in S. And then double S is regular Kakyoin and Verb.
Yep. That's the two culprits there. And Pet Shop's the more infamous, because good lord, look at him. How could he not be? But my memory is that Kakyoin's considered even stronger.
Yeah. And so last time we played Heritage for the Future with Pink, I went with Cool Kakyoin because I remember that Cool Kakyoin was not as strong as regular Kakyoin. I remembered him being A. He's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess Whole Horse isn't the bottom of the bottom tiers, at least not the one that I usually play. But I don't remember if Hoingo. I cannot remember how you choose Hoingo.
Oh god. You have to go off the screen, don't you, for the secret characters in Heritage?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. The lowest tier character you pick and lowest tier character I pick. Oh boy. Joker in either of the Injustices.
Ah.
He's really bad. Swamp Thing in Injustice 2. I never pick the high tier characters in Injustice usually. There has to be an exception for that though. I played Red Hood a fair bit in Injustice 2, and he's pretty high tier. Oh boy, let's see who else. There was another one I'm struggling to think of. Well, Servbot in Marvel 2. I love Servbot. He's garbage.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the lowest tier character that both of us play is Amingo.
Yeah, is Amingo considered worse than Servbot? My understanding was
No.
that Servbot's like
just
above roll into the slightly viable but still awful tier.
Yeah, Servbot is like, I think Servbot is in fact the worst, but I'm gonna see if I can check. All right. That's information. Where is the tier list? I get
Excuse me.
Okay, yes. F tier are Amingo, Chun-Li, Shumagoret, Den, and Servbot. And there's also Roll. He's there too.
Yeah.
Under F.
Roll. Good old Roll. Where does King usually fit on Tekken tier lists?
I don't know.
I know he's like the character that players most hate to fight.
Yeah, because of the grab breaks.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. In Tekken 2, King is where is King? He might not be in Tekken 2. He might be there's Armor King. Middle. He's mid.
Sounds right. I don't think he had the crazy chain grabs fully yet there though.
Let's see.
Could be wrong.
Where do I find the tier lists easily? Boy, I love it having to search separately. Because like in Tekken 2, it was just I just went to the Tekken 2 page. And it went, alright, here's a tier list. But that's for Tekken 3 though.
Yeah.
Alright. King is C tier in Tekken 3.
Okay. Not a good first 3D outing for him, apparently.
Tekken 4, we'll see. How the fuck is Lee top tier in Tekken 4? He has no moves. King is low tier.
Huh.
This is one of those things where, like, I'm sure that's warranted. I would need to hear the reasoning though.
He's got a secret move where he puts on sunglasses and the opponent just dies.
Yeah. Alright, King is mid to upper mid. There's no one tier list that people seem to go to in Tekken 5.
I see. Sounds like King kind of sits comfortably in the around the middle for most of these games.
Yeah. That's... Yeah, he's somewhere around the middle, like B, C tier. If there's a C, or I guess if we have like 5 things, then he's C, otherwise B.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that answer, I guess.
Yeah. Hell. Huh. Who is the most low tier character you've played?
I mean, I've already told you that I'm a samurai, but
Yeah.
but aside from him, aside in a game that more than like 8 people play, because like I love Basara Cross, but still.
Isn't oh, I'm forgetting her name. Cat Goblin.
Cat Goblin, or the Quark.
Yeah, isn't Neko Arc supposed to be like trash tier in several Melty games?
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know if she's high in Type Lumina. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but with modern games, they generally don't put in deliberately bad characters. If they were to make a Marvel vs. Capcom 4 with Roll and Serve Bot today, they would not make Roll and Serve Bot intentionally bad. They'd make them perfectly viable and try to make them equal to everybody else.
Yeah, in Type Lumina, it seems like Network. It seems like it depends on who you ask, but Network is somewhere between A and D tier. But I think that whoever made this, but it seems like whoever made this was very very angry because all of the maids, both team and separate, are in D tier, and that is incorrect. I refuse to believe that.
Yeah.
S tier character in multiple Type Lumina woman. Okay, yeah, in HS again, all of Nekorok's moons are low tier. C moon or the C Nekorok is D minus. H Neko is E, and full moon Neko is F for full moon. I don't even remember if Condenser has Nekorok. Oh, cool. Never mind. Well, let's condense the tier list. There is no tier list.
Fuck it. Move on to the other ones, says the tier list making gods.
But I guess
Thought of another high tier character that you play, though only in certain games.
yeah.
Any of the KOF games where they make Rugal playable but don't balance him.
Yeah. I don't really downplay him though. I don't think. Like I don't really play Omega Rugal.
No.
I don't really play Omega Rugal in 2002. Yeah, that's the one that has Omega Rugal because I like regular Rugal better. And then
Yeah.
And then when was the other game where he was in the game but unbalanced? 98? Like base 98, I guess.
From base version 98, perhaps, yes. Ultimate match, I want to say he's fine. Though I would not be for certain which version, because that's the one that has 2 Rugals.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up a KF98 Ultimate Match tier list and then see.
Oh, you know what? CVS2 God Rugal.
I don't play God Rugal.
Oh, okay. I thought you did.
No, I play regular Rugal in that too. Like I play
Okay.
I play God Rugal and Shinakuma in a team as a joke, more or less. But like they're not really my mains. My actual team in CVS2 is Kimakuma and Rugal. You know, full of evil they are.
Oh, bite! Oh shit! I'm falling. Fuck! Ow!
What happened?
I'm falling. Oh, fuck! There we go. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I actually fell over. Fully that time. But I
Okay.
saw.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For one, apparently Rugal is A tier, but that's it. That's all he ever is. But also, I just want to shout out the name of this Chinese ratio tier list.
Okay. All right. I saw the other day the little comic that comes with the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, right?
Yeah.
And the plot of it is, oh no, Doctor Doom and M. Bison are colluding. How do we stop this? We get bigger villains that'll stop them. Here's Akuma and Thanos. And Thanos is like, yo, the Infinity Gauntlet, I'll destroy everything. They're like, oh no, we've made a bigger problem. And Akuma's going apeshit in Shinakuma form. What do we do? Let's tell Shinakuma about Thanos. So they tell Shinakuma about Thanos, and then like Ruby Heart, when Shinakuma attacks Thanos, Ruby Heart sends him off to another world, some other dimension. And it shows that other dimension, and Thanos is like, oh man, I can't destroy the world from here. This sucks. Meanwhile, Shinakuma is like, this guy's fucking invincible and has an answer for everything I do. This is amazing. I will fight him forever.
He loves it.
He actually loves it. Like, they have him smiling and everything, going like, finally, the ultimate match that I've always wanted. God.
So apparently, the all of the characters that I play, in CVS2 are B tier, and God Rugal and Shinakuma are not included in the tier list.
Yeah, CVS2, where Bison is in that game, it's a good time for me. Where Kuma is in, not Kuma, Cammy is in that game, it's a good time for Pink. But other than that, like in my memory, the CVS2 gods are Bison, Cammy, Sagat, Blanca, and Yori, and none of those are your boys.
Yeah.
I always find that funny that CVS2, like pretty well all the gods in that game are Capcom characters. Like even when you go just a couple tiers below.
Okay.
What's up?
So I found the community made tier list, and the highest voted one says that that's my team is actually S tier. Apparently the highest tier characters are Iori, Kyo, Sagat. Like Blanca isn't even here. How the fuck is Blanca in good tier? But the funniest part is regular Akuma, regular Rugal, regular King of form when he's not in evil form. You know, they're S tier. Shirakuma, God Rugal, B tier. Evil Ryu, C.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Oh.
I don't think the tier list is trustworthy.
No. I want to highlight something though, a YouTube comment I just saw.
Yeah.
Looking back at that Sejam video that started this whole discussion, it's a YouTube comment. The year is 20XX. Fighting game players no longer play their mains and are in an arms race to develop the most disgusting, degenerate tech for their opponents' characters so that they can be nerfed off of the face of the earth just in time for Evo. When asked for Kin Tech, Kin Mains merely shrug and say, "Sorry, I don't think he really has anything. He's just too honest." Oh man. We need to oh god, what fighting game character have you hated the most to play against in any fighting game?
I mean, there's a funny joke that I could make right now.
Oh?
Kanji? But no.
Yeah?
No, I think overall, the character that I hated playing against the most. I mean, I guess that also depends on if you're talking like just player matches or just overall. Because overall, it's probably a toss-up between Nakoruru and someone else. Like, there's a reason that I hate Nakoruru as much as I do.
All right. You can have Nakoruru removed from the Sam Show games, but you have to figure out all of her tech.
I know
Do
lot
you
of it
make
already.
the sacrifice?
Sure. I mean, I already play Rero. And Rero is a Rero. Well, I used to play Rero. Rero is a Nakoruru's bust moveset from Sam Show 4 made into a separate character in Sam Show 5. So
Oh shit.
I guess who's the one you hated the most?
Deadshot in Injustice 2 was so boring, but I mean, he kind of did get nerfed off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
So we'll pretend that I did that by learning the Deadshot tech.
Why not? Congratulations, you figured out how to press down forward punch.
Excuse you, it's back to forward punch. Dude, this is not. Well, actually, I was about to say this is not a Capcom game. I remember Injustice actually does use a lot of the Capcom inputs, but nonetheless, on that front, no, that it's still back to forward. Light is the input for Deadshot's little gunshot, which don't know why I remember that input, but I do.
That's what got him nerfed. It is a memento.
Well, I suppose fighting games they were.
Perhaps.
I am so fucking hungry. Okay.
I pressed the wrong button.